Good morning, it is Vlogmas day 20 and we're opening up another Christmas stocking. And last time we got this adorable rocking horse, which I'm trying to be gentle with so his legs don't fall off.
What?
So this is what we got. At first I thought this was like Daisy Duck, partner of Donald Duck, but I don't think so. I'm not sure what show this is from. To me it looks like a white platypus. Hey everyone, so it is Vlogmas day 20, and by the way, I am bearing my insecurities for you all today, and I'm wearing a tank top and I'm not covering up with a sweatshirt. And for me that's a big deal because you know how much I hate my broad shoulders, but it's not something that I can change. There's no surgery to fix it, so I decided I need to start feeling more comfortable in my own skin. So that is what is going on today. So other than that, what I had planned today, because I didn't have work, so I had intended to like just run errands around the city. I had to go to various different places. I had to go to the pharmacy, pick up some medicine, and after I was doing that, I was going to come home and clean out more things. As you can see, I took all my books out of the closet and sorted out ones that I was going to donate that I already read. And I did a lot of cleaning and purging. But one of the places that I had to go today, which should have been the most boring place out of all the places I had to go, turned out to be the most exciting place. And so one of the places I had to go was the library because my books were due today, and I'm so determined not to have any more late fines. So I was really good about looking at my calendar and returning my books when I was supposed to return my books, right? So I decided to go to the library right when it opens. I had planned out all my errands, so when I wrapped it back around, I would end up at the library and I would be early, right when the doors open. I would return my books, get new books, go home, right? But when I approached the library, I was a handful of minutes early, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait outside. But one thing I did notice was a little different. This time, there was a police officer waiting outside. But at first, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, well, maybe he's waiting for the library open because he needs to talk to one of his friends, or maybe he needs to go get something for himself or his kids. I don't know. This is a library. I just assume that they're there for books or they're there to talk to someone in particular. So eventually, it comes closer to time, and I noticed that the police officer goes inside the library. He like opens the door, and then I kind of trail behind because I want to go in too, right? I want to return my books. I want to get new books. And he stops me and whoever else is there and is like, no, nobody can go into the library right now because there's an incident. Now, when I hear that, my mind automatically asks, well, what sort of incident could happen in a library, right? And I immediately think back to when I worked in the library and all the different types of people that comes in there, and I was like, oh, maybe there's like a disgruntled patron that they have to talk to that's really creating a scene. But then as I stood there and thought about it, I was like, no, that can't be because the library's not even open. Like a patron wouldn't be in there, right? So that theory already left my mind, but I was still curious. I was like, what incident occurred to where they can't open the library, to where the police officers are here? What is going on, right? So I think 10 minutes after the library is supposed to open, there's like a small little crowd of people that had the intentions to go to the library like me right when it opens. And we're kind of hanging around outside, and when people try the door, it's locked. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's locked because there's an incident. I didn't know what that incident was. But 10 minutes after the hour, one of the workers comes out to just tell us people that are waiting, like, oh, sorry, there is a delayed opening because there's an incident. There's that word again, and I'm in my mind, I'm hoping, I'm like, well, tell us what the incident is, right? And then she does tell us, and she's like, there are children stuck in the elevator, and no one can go into the library until the children are out of the elevator. So that's the incident. And apparently, like, they already called the fire department, and the fire department is on their way. So I guess what happened is, like, before the library opened to the public, I guess like the school nearby had something going on where they go to the library for like school reasons, like their class went to the library or something like that. Which makes sense. That makes better sense to me than what I initially thought. So immediately my mind switches to mom mode, and in my mind I'm like, oh my gosh, those poor children, they're stuck in a small space, they're probably afraid, asking for their mom, they probably need a pee or something, and my mind switches to mom mode and I feel anxious for them, right? And I feel really bad, and I hope that the fire department comes soon because I'm sure those kids are scared. I'm worried for them. So yeah, we start waiting and waiting and waiting, and mind you, I'm hearing a lot of sirens. Like I hear a lot of ambulance sirens, I hear police sirens, I hear a lot of sirens. But what I noticed was like none of them were for the library. We even had like an ambulance pass by, had a police officer pass by, but none of them stopped at the library. And I was like, man, where is this fire department? So I guess what happened was that the fire department couldn't get there because there was actually a fire nearby. Like there was a actual fire nearby, which was priority. The kids stuck in the elevator is second priority because I guess technically their life isn't in danger. If anything, they're just stuck. And I was like, oh my gosh, these poor kids, right? And then we're waiting and waiting. I think like 30 or 40 minutes pass by. I want to say it's 30 minutes. The doors to the library open and out come these little children. I want to say they're like kindergarten age, and they trail out, and I felt relieved. I was like, oh, the children must have gotten out of the elevator. And then as like the last kid came out, they were there with their chaperone. I don't know if it was their teacher or their teacher aide, whatever, but it was the adult that was with the cluster of children. And I was like, oh my gosh, are these the children that were stuck in the elevator? Good thing that they were able to get them out. And then the lady was like, oh no, these were not the kids stuck in the elevator. We actually took the stairs down. The kids stuck in the elevator are actually teenagers. So the people that were stuck in the elevator were teenagers. There were 10 teenagers stuck in this elevator, and I have taken that elevator before and I know how small it is. Just imagining like 10 teenage people stuck in this tiny space, they must have been packed like sardines. So right away, my empathy for the children, it was still there. Like I don't care if you're a child, a teenager, or an adult. If you're stuck in an elevator, that is something I will be empathetic towards. Like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to be that person. But at the same time, it shifted a little bit now that I knew it wasn't like a really young child, like somebody in kindergarten. And I just thought it was funny that these kindergarten kids took the stairs, that like their group took the stairs, but these teenagers that are more than capable of walking down 2 flights of stairs, that our library is like a branch. The most set of stairs there is like 2, and they couldn't walk down the 2 flights of stairs, so they took the elevator down. And the irony in that is just wow. And what was funny is, I guess for whatever reason that they were there, when it came time to go to the bottom level, like their teacher took the stairs down, but then I guess the group that was with the teacher collectively decided to take the elevator down, and they're the group that got stuck in the elevator. And their teacher was like, had a good sense of humor, like he would poke out of the library every once in a while to talk to, I guess, another teacher that was getting like giving updates. And he was laughing. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're stuck in the elevator. So he had a good sense of humor with it. So we continue to wait. There's off and on, the group that is waiting starts to thin out, and then more people come and it starts to thin out. Now me, since I didn't have any work today, I decided to just hang around and see how this all played out, because I was just curious. I'm like, well, will the fire department come with their huge truck? Like, how is this going to play out, right? So time has passed. I want to say maybe close to an hour, or just a little over an hour. I don't remember how long it was, but I want to say that it's too long to be stuck in an elevator. I'm grateful that it wasn't too cold outside, but I was, at the same time, I'm like, how long are they going to get stuck in there, you know? So the fire department, did they come with their big red truck? No, they did not. If anything, it was just like 2 guys that came in like a separate vehicle that was not the fire truck, you know, which makes sense. I don't think you need a full-blown fire truck. So these 2 guys go into the library. I guess, to sort things out. But I do have to tell you about like the people I encountered outside. So as we're waiting, you know, new people come, they like jiggle the door and we have to tell them, oh no, you can't go in right now. So there was one guy that was waiting at first, but he was like desperately trying to get into the library to return one book. And a little part of me wanted to be like, oh, give the book to me and I'll return it for you once we're allowed to get inside. But I decided not to do that because I didn't know how long this incident was going to take place. Like, I was hanging around for now, but if it was going to take like more hours, then I was just going to go home. So I was like, oh no, I don't want to commit to saying I'm going to return this book for this guy because then I'll be responsible for it and I'm not sure how long I want to be here, right? So there's that guy that kept jiggling the door even though it's been locked. And then there was this lady, that was starting to go on a rant like, oh, this is ridiculous. They're supposed to be open right now. And then people are like, oh no, there's an incident. And then she like felt bad afterwards. She felt bad afterwards. So yeah, eventually the library doors open again and out floods these 10 teenagers that were stuck in the elevator. And yeah, my visualization of how I thought it would be, yeah, they were definitely packed in there like sardines. But you can tell that they like rush out. They rushed out in the library. They rushed out of the library and they were like so relieved. Like one girl was like on the verge of tears. That would so be me. If I was stuck in the elevator, I would be the one crying. So yeah, they were so relieved to get out of that tiny little space. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them at all whatsoever. But at the same time, I think it's a lesson learned to take the stairs next time. Like me, I have taken that elevator a couple times when I've had like a huge stack of books and I didn't want to walk down the stairs, because I've taken that elevator a couple times and it's like, it's an old building. It's a very old elevator, like it works, but it's old and it has like a little bit of a delay. So once you reach the bottom floor, it doesn't open right away. It like pauses, you wait on the verge of panic and then the doors open. But now I'm like, I will never take that elevator ever again. I'm just gonna use strictly the stairs. Oh, and you know what was funny? While we were waiting outside and the kids had already left the library, they were released from the elevator. The doors were still locked. I guess I don't know, maybe they want to put out of order signs, but this guy comes by with his suitcase and he goes straight up to the doors. He's trying to jiggle the door. He keeps ringing the bell. He's knocking on the door. He's absolutely trying to get into the library. Keeps ringing the bell. I can hear the bell ringing from outside. And then finally this girl comes and she goes, stop ringing the doorbell. One of the girls that works there goes, stop ringing the doorbell. And the guy goes, I'm here to fix the elevator. I thought that was pretty comical because they called the guy to fix the elevator. He can't get in, so he rings the doorbell. The girl that works there gets mad at him for ringing the doorbell, and then he snaps back because he has to get inside to fix the elevator. But you know what? While I was hanging around outside, this like surprised me, but at the same time it didn't surprise me. And as a mom, I was a little bit disappointed. Now, I didn't go to high school here in New York. I went to high school in California. So I don't know how it works around here, but in California, when you're like a senior, during lunchtime, you're allowed to go out for lunch. So I would just assume that was the same here. I don't know what it was. It was like around 12-ish, so it's lunchtime. And then all these kids came out of the school, all these teenagers came out of their school, and they're just kind of hanging around. And maybe they were like older kids, I don't know. But what I witnessed with my own eyes that is a little bit disappointing, and I don't know what is considered normal, what is not considered normal. And it broke my heart. But like these kids, they don't even nearly look like grown people to me. They still look like children. I see them as children. They're like smoking, and I was really disappointed, you know, because we have come such a long way of knowing the harmful effects of smoking cigarettes, and they're so young. Just because I have very strong opinions on smoking, because my dad smoked since he was 14 years old, had his first heart attack when he was 40, has since had a quadruple bypass and a triple bypass. I didn't even think that was possible, but apparently it is. And multiple heart attacks, and he's still addicted to cigarettes. So just seeing these young people smoking broke my heart as well. So I just wanted to be like, please don't. when I see young people smoking, I just feel really bad. I'm like, oh, please don't start that bad habit. But I know people will be like, mind your own business, Yale. And I am. I didn't go up to them and like mom them or anything. But as a mom, seeing that, I was disappointed. I just wish they wouldn't harm their bodies. So yeah, that is what I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.